Hi guys, how are we all doing? It's Andy, the expedition hiker, and today we are in Nottingham, more precise Wollaton Park. Today we're going to be walking along the Bramcote Way and then up to a stone that is over 200 million years old. Then from there we're heading up to Stapleford Hills, along to the Nottingham Canal, then over to Shaw's Plantation and Capstone Hill, which is a burial chamber. And then from there we're going to go on to the Wollaton Wagonway and walk the route that it took to get to the Nottingham Canal. And then from there we're walking back to Wollaton itself. So hopefully you're going to enjoy this one. So let's get going. So if you like hiking, backpacking and long distance walking and would like to learn some skills about the outdoors, then please consider subscribing. We are starting this walk in the 500-acre deer park of Wollaton Park Hall. It is situated 3 miles from the city of Nottingham. Within the park is a grand Elizabethan house with stables, diverse habitats including grassland, wetland and woodland, a large lake, Nottingham's premier golf course, and where 120 fallow and 90 red deer have the right to roam. The park hosts large events, festivals including Splendour Music Festival in July, and was Wayne's Manor in Batman Dark Knight Rises, where I was an extra in the movie.
Result of the Dent Act. These are violent criminals, essential cogs in the organised crime machine.
And I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. So unfortunately I was going to go into the formal gardens behind Wollaton Hall, but it's all locked down because it was still part of the corona. Just in the centre of the pillar, just at the top of the steps, there is a post, a pillar, and that pillar is just by what they have is the little fountain. Now that's where the area I actually stood when I was in the film for The Dark Knight Rises. Quite a few of my walks I've done so far on the channel have mentioned the Willoughbys, including the last one in Risley. So let me tell you a little bit more about who the famous Willoughbys were, other than the present Holly Willoughby. The hall was built by the Willoughbys in the 15th century. Henry Willoughby moved in his ancestral home from Lincolnshire to Wollaton so he could take advantages of the huge profits available from coal mining in the local area. Willoughby family would continue to influence the life of Wollaton into the 20th century. The surname Willoughby was first found in Lincolnshire, where Sir William Willoughby was Lord of Willoughby, a Norman knight. He was granted the estates by William the Conqueror in 1066. Organby Hall, the original home of the Willoughbys, was plundered by the Roundheads during the English Civil War in 1643. Wollaton Hall was built between 1580 and 1588 for Sir Francis Willoughby and was designed by the Elizabethan architect Robert Smythson, who had already completed Longleat in Wiltshire and was to go on to design Hardwick Hall for Bess of Hardwick. Past Walk Mine, which I'll add a link to here. The building is a main block of 3 stories high and a tower at each corner. In the centre at the top is the prospect room, a latter addition to the hall to expand on the grandeur of the building. The prospect room was built as a ballroom, but due to the shallow foundations when the original hall was built, the prospect room was never used for its purpose of dancing, as the structure was unsafe. It was only in the last century, when the building was underpinned to strengthen the foundations, that the prospect room became safe. The hall still holds its grandeur inside, with a French and Dutch style, with painted ceilings and elegant staircases and furnishings, and is now home to Nottingham's Natural History Museum, famous for a full-height stuffed giraffe and George the gorilla, as well as other wild animals and birds, and near the stables stands an industrial museum. When the Willoughbys moved to Nottingham, they wanted to build on a hill so they could overlook their estate. As the hilltop in the city of Nottingham was already taken by Nottingham Castle, the alternative was Wollaton. The hill is made of sandstone, which most of Nottingham is built on, that and clay. We're going to head on to the Robin Hood's Way now, a long distance footpath that starts at Nottingham Castle and travels 107 miles, passing all the places Robin was acquainted with. It eventually finishes at Edwinstone, in the heart of the Sherwood Forest. This is the Hemlock Stone. This outcrop of red sandstone that is believed to be over 200 years old is just over 8 metres high. The stone is formed of Nottingham's Castle sandstone, a coarse grit of sandstone, and Lenton sandstone, a more fine grain of sandstone. And they are cemented together by Bartle, a mineral that consists of barium sulfate, making the lower part more susceptible to erosion over the upper part. It is said that the stone is an altar or table for the Druids. Druids are people of ancient Britain. They had high roles, judges, teachers and philosophers. The Druids are also associated to the building of Stonehenge in Wiltshire and other stone circles across the UK. In the Middle Ages, the people believed that the devil threw the stone from a hilltop at Catstone in Derbyshire, some 44 miles away, a place where similar red sandstones are still able to be seen. Leaving the Hemlock Stone, we're going to go over Stapleford Hill now, and we're going to head over to Nottingham Canal. Now this is the highest point we're climbing today. As we climb this huge mountain, well, small hill, maybe a slope, it could be just a bump, at a staggering 100 metres above sea level. Sorry, I beg your pardon, 101 metres above sea level. To the trig point, so wait for them spectacular views. And here we are at the trig point. All 101 metres high. And wow, I didn't expect any views, but there are. If we look that way, we can see across Derbyshire, and in the distance is Leicestershire. If we come back this way again, I presume the town over there is either Ilkeston or Cotman Hay, and then looking over towards Derbyshire. So we're at the trig point. As you can see, it's got this like circular shape with 3 lines going off it. No, it's not a UFO symbol. It's actually each line points to another trig point. The military worked it out, a triangulation system that went all the way across the UK, and from each trig point you can triangulate and find another trig point. Well, although the hill was a steady climb up the 100 metres, it's a lot steeper this way. At the top there's a signpost to say that this is a mountain biking area, so people go down here on bikes. I'm not too keen going down here on foot, never mind on a bike. We're coming off Stapleford Hill. Now I believe there actually is some caves in this area. There is meant to be a cave that was filled in. There was a tunnel that went all the way from here to Wollaton Hall, which is about probably 2 to 3 miles away from here. I just looked back and I saw this little cave here. I'm not sure if it's too deep. I think it's more of a hollow, but built into the sandstone. So at the moment we're walking along the Earwash Trail, which is still part of the Robin Hood's Way. The Earwash Trail went along the Earwash Canal and also the Nottingham Canal, and that goes from Long Eaton to Trent Lock, all the way up to Langley Mill. And the Nottingham Canal goes a similar sort of path, although parts of it are being filled in, like, well, this area is a little bit wetlands, but the majority of the area around here is filled in as well. So we're just going to walk around here. We're going to get to the garden centre, and then we'll go around the back up to the A road, cross over there, and then we'll head up to Shaw's Plantation. we look across the landscape of Nottingham, in the centre of the picture you can see Wollaton Hall. So we're on the wood sprint, probably about just over a mile and a half to go. But we're at Shaw's Plantation now. This used to be owned by the Willoughbys and once stood here two deep coal pits, one of hard coal and one of soft to hard coal. It also had two shallow bell pits. But we'll just continue along the path. And here we see Capstone Hill. But we're going to go around the other side. So if you fancy following this route for yourself, then this is quite an easy one, because when we get to the end of this field we come off the Robin Hood's Way, but we've been on it for nearly 7 miles. So all you would need to do, just keep to the footpath. It's well signed along the way of the Robin Hood's Way, and then when we get up to this point, which is Capstone Hill, we're going to turn right onto the Wollaton Wagonway, and then you would follow the Wollaton Wagonway basically back to the Hall. And as we can see the Hall on our right, just beyond those trees, you can just see the Hall there. Then all you need to know is just head for that. It's not really a difficult path if you don't know how to map read. And I must admit, it is one of the best trails I've found locally, and I'm surprised I've never come across it before. So this is the point where we leave the Robin Hood Way and we turn right down onto the Wollaton Wagonway. But first, we're just going to go behind and we're going to go up and see if we can find the Bronze Age burial remnants on Capstone Hill. Oh, don't know if I caught that. The rabbit just ran over the rock I was talking about. Anyway, the rock in front of us, the boulder, is meant to be either a stone circle or an ancient burial chamber. Now, I was told there's only 2 of them. There's this one here, and I've just come across around the back of this one here, and as I've seen one at the top as well, that means there's 3 stones now, which would actually look more like it's becoming a stone circle than burial chambers. We've just got back down bottom of Capstone Hill and we're back onto the junction of Robin Hood's Way and the Wollaton Wagonway. And as you can see on our left hand side, glowing is Wollaton Hall, and we're going to take this route down here now, which is the Wollaton Wagonway. But here we follow the route the wagonway would have taken from Strelly, which is about half a mile behind me, and its pits, as in coal pits, not armpits, to Wollaton and down to the Nottingham Canal. So about the width of this track we're walking down now is about the same sort of width that the wagons would have gone on. So like always, I hope you've enjoyed the route. So part of the remnants of the old wagonway, bit of iron track. Also there was another bit just a little bit further up there. The area I'm standing in now is where the Wollaton Wagonway would have finished, as this area, although overgrown now and dried out, is the disused Nottingham Canal. Now this area is quite wide, as this was Lock 77, one of the widest parts of the canal, and obviously this is where the canal boats would meet the wagons, and then the wagons would transport their coal onto the barges and then continue down the canal to the River Trent. Never seen a coot fight before. And we're back where we started, at Wollaton Hall. So hopefully you've enjoyed this one. I certainly have. It's been a quite warm one. It's actually 79 degrees today. So it's been nice to get in these places like the shade, like I'm in now. It's surprising because where I live, it's probably one of the closest walks I could have done, but I've never actually worked it out as a circle route, so I'm glad that I've done it now. So, like always, if you haven't subscribed, please do. If you'd like to add a like, that'd be great, and by adding the thumbs up. If you'd like to comment, that'd be great too, and if you want to share my video with anybody else, that'd be super. Until next time, look after yourselves. I'll see you soon. So, bye-bye hikers.